Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be continuing my build on my Ranger here. So, for today, we're going to finish all the decking. So by the time we're done with this video, we're going to have all the wood, all the wood on the flatbed here, and have all the sheet metal done on the truck as well. And so hopefully by the time we're done, it looks like a proper flatbed and not a desk, like a bed frame. Anyway, enjoy. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is we've got to get the angle iron that we're going to use as the barriers to hold the wood in place. We've got to get those properly positioned and welded in. So, and of course, to do that, we actually have to clean off some of the rust and crap that has accumulated on these on the frame over the past week or so. So we're gonna take a flap disc and flap disc all of these, all the frame clean, so then we can get some good welds, and then we will start putting the angle iron on. So, yep. Alright, so there we go. Part 1 is done. All cleaned off, ready for some angle iron to be welded on. So, just put the first piece on, and I realized something, which I should have known. The weld that you do takes up space. So I gotta now I've got to grind that out, and same with that one over there. Not too big of a problem, but still a little bit of a pain in the ass. Look at that. She looks perfect. She fits perfectly. I just remembered that before we put this angle iron on, we have to put the sheet metal that covers this section right here, so that it's done, and then we can put the angle iron in front of it. And there we go. She sorry if you can hear the rain. Sometimes you can't really predict Canadian summer weather. But anyways, we got this all kind of held up here, and she's pretty floppy right now. But we're going to start tack welding it in right here and along both sides, and maybe even along the top. We'll see. And hopefully we won't have to do any other like reinforcing of the struts, because I don't want this to sound like a like a trailer being all rattly. I want it to sound really solid. So we may have to go in later and add more supports, but we'll see. For now, let's get her tacked in and see how she looks from there. Alright, so there we go, guys. She's as you can see here, she's not super pretty, but she is tacked in there. And she looks pretty good. After that, she'll just need a little bit of reinforcing, because as you can see here, she's a little bit floppy, which I don't want. So what we'll probably do is we'll end up taking the bed off, and from the back side, putting in some I don't know, like a flat bar or something to kind of support the back of it, so it's a bit less floppy. But besides that, I think she looks pretty good. She's definitely like gonna need a little bit of a painting, but besides that, she is looking good. And so now can actually move on to onto the angle iron. Alright, so there we go, guys. This is the original one, and then here is the one on the other side. Both of them we have to do a 45 on. 45 there, and that's like a 25, so we gotta fix to a 45 there. And then I also toss these on here, because these are basically just simply a piece of sheet metal so that it stops any crap from the tires from flicking up and going into the wood. And I don't know, I don't really know if it's necessary for what I'm doing, because there will be boards there, but I just thought it was a kind of a good way to have some extra protection, and so that nothing will kind of come through the boards. I don't know if it's right, I don't know if it's wrong, but, you know, it's what I'm going to do. So, I think, in fact, first we're going to weld these guys in, because that's actually easier. It's easier for right now, and in like an hour I gotta go graduate, so I kind of want to get the easy things done, so it's like somewhat more drivable, and leave the longer jobs till later on tonight. So yep, we're gonna weld those pieces of sheet metal in, so then we'll have some protection from the cab getting all of this mud and dirt. And both are welded on, and they are not coming off, which is great, except this. That is exactly what I don't want the truck to sound like. So I might have to solve that, or once I put the boards on, it might kind of clamp it down and quiet it up. If it doesn't, I'll have to fix it, but I'm just hoping that putting the boards on will solve the problem for me. Guys, so on kind of further thinking, I think instead of trying to do a 45 on these pieces of angle iron, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a chunk out here, exactly close enough to the dimension, this same dimension here, so that the other piece that's coming in here 90 degrees will fit into it and not match up at a 45. This one will just have a chunk taken out of it, which hopefully will be a lot easier to do with an angle grinder than a 45 degree angle. So yeah, let's go for it. There we go. So she's perfectly cut out, so that hopefully the back, the same piece that goes along the back here, will fit into that. I haven't tested this yet. I don't really know, but you know, we'll see. We'll see if she works. The first one is all clamped up and ready to be welded. Then we got to do that guy, and then finally do the back here. And once we're done that, move on to boards. She's all done. Look at that. We got angle iron on all three sides. Of course, the front we don't need it because we got some sheet metal. But yeah, look at that. She's all welded up, and she's looking better and better every single day. So next, actually, is a little change of plans, because I realized that we kind of have nothing in here. to support the wood. The last one is here, and then there's like a 2.5-foot span, and then nothing supporting it at the end. So I've got one extra of these cross members, and I'm going to put a cross member right at the edge of that at the edge of that fuel filler cap mount there, and then line it up over here, and yeah, then that should be good. Alright guys, I don't know if you can see me right now because of the light. I'm using a flashlight for this, but as you can see here, the new cross member is all in, and she's sturdy. So so tomorrow or the next day, we'll start putting the boards in. We'll start mounting up and so the boards, though they sound easy, I'm assuming, I'm kind of thinking that they're going to be a lot more challenging than I expect, because I also want the way that I mount the boards in the flatbed to be not only solid but also somewhat good looking, which is I think going to be a bit of a challenge. And also I want to not drill any holes in the pre-existing frame that I have, because once I drill a hole, that's a possibility for rust to go in there, which of course I don't want. Even though I'm probably not going to have this truck for 100 years, I still don't want this thing to have inherent rust problems, because I live in Canada and, you know, snow. Alright, I don't know if you guys could see me last night, but here it's the next day, and as you can see, we got all the boards on it. It looks really good, like better than I was expecting, and of course right now, it's held on by just some ratchet straps so they don't fall out. But we also have, as you can see here, we've got all the stuff that we need to take away these ratchet straps. So, yeah, let's get to work. We go. So, first one is in, and it looks solid. So now, we just got to repeat that 4 more times. Of course, me being me, this guy is supposed to go over there. So, let's cut her off and put her in the right place. Yep. Guys, there we go. So we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're all in, and they're all ugly. So let's fix that. Let's get to grinding. So what I've decided to do instead is use that same angle iron that I put underneath the wood, but instead of bolting straps to it, I'm going to drill holes into it and just simply put deck screws, a couple of them, as the minimum number that I can, through into the boards to hold them down and also stop them from warping. And the reason I chose to do that is it's definitely not the best way to do it, but for my case, I really like to have that, you know, where there's nothing on the surface of the wood to get caught on anything. So for me, as of right now, that's the best option I have, and so that's what we're gonna do. So yeah, let's get working. All right. So what we're gonna do first on this new plan to hold down the boards is we're gonna cut two pieces of 6 inches each of this spare angle iron I've got, so that then we can weld it in this gap here between the pieces that I've already put in. So one 6 inch piece here, and then another up at the front there. And then once we do that, then we'll start drilling more holes so that we can put the deck screws that I bought up through the bottom and screw them to securely hold the boards that we've got. So yeah, let's see if it works. If it doesn't, we'll figure out another way to do things. Guys, even though I didn't get all of it done last night. I had to go to bed. But even though it's 40 degrees today, let's keep working, and hopefully we can get all those holes drilled and all the boards secured down into the bed, and then we can move on to the stuff that I got today, which is two sides right here. So as you can see, this is how each side is gonna look. Obviously a bit cleaner, but one, side two, and then this piece right here. This is the piece with the frame for it. That's going to go along the back. So that's going to go right along the back between the taillights, so that it kind of covers up the frame from behind. But yeah, it's crazy hot out. But let's see how far we get today. All right, so I guess we're gonna take a little bit of a break from securing those boards right now, because I don't actually have the right the right drill to do it, because I don't know where it is. So instead, we're going to work on building the sides. So we've got the 1x1 tube and the sheet metal, and this time we actually have 18 gauge instead of 20 gauge sheet metal, which should help not burning through such thin sheet metal, and it'll give a little bit of extra strength. So yeah, let's get to welding. Here we go. She's all set up. So this is how this is gonna be the look from the outside of the truck. If I don't like it this way, I can just switch them around later, because they're both identical sides. But right now, I think I'm gonna leave the sheet metal on the inside, so that you can kind of it makes the exterior a little more interesting. But yeah, let's get to welding her up. We got the first side on, and I think it looks pretty good. You guys can decide for yourself, but like, I think she looks pretty good. And of course, first though, to actually secure her, we're gonna have put a little strap right across here to some bolts in here, and down here, and then also down in the end there, so she stays solid, and she can also be removable. But yeah, as of right now, like, I think she looks pretty good, which is good. Even though it's getting dark, I'm gonna still try and make the second one. So most likely, you guys don't really need to see that, because you've already seen me build the first one. But it's the same thing over again, and then I'll hopefully see you tomorrow, and so that you can see both sides at least clamped on, and so that you'll see what it looks like, even if they're not fully like attached on permanently. Yeah.